Everything is easier with a pancake. While I am Canadian, I don't mean the maple syrup kind. It's a powerful mobility skill for calisthenics and everyday life. Unlocking it means a deeper squat, easier handstands, and just being more comfortable chilling on the floor at home. In this video, we'll cover 4 strength and 4 flexibility exercises, but really they all blend together. Starting with beginner, then intermediate, and experienced techniques so you can get more mobile no matter what your starting point. Before we get moving, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Every like, comment, and subscription goes a long way to support me and future videos. As a total pancake beginner, our focus should be on getting strong and comfortable in hip abduction. In other words, with the legs wide. For strength and stability, let's begin with the horse stance squat. Starting with feet together, toe, heel the feet outward 3 times. Set the inner edges of the feet parallel, and then bend the knees, sinking as low as possible. Squeeze the hips to drive the knees outward. If you feel blocked, like you can't sink deeper, roll the hips forward slightly. Next, flexibility and mobility. Let's master the butterfly, sometimes called Taylor's pose. With the hips rooted in the ground, feet together, as close to the hips as possible. Sit tall and straight, with your back against a wall for support if needed. Squeeze the outer hips to pull the knees down and release, repeating for repetitions. You can use a dumbbell or kettlebell for a loaded stretch, or press the knees down with the hands or forearms for a passive stretch. To get even deeper, we'll apply Pale's rails. Resist the stretch by driving the knees into the hands or forearms. Now go with the stretch by pulling the knees to the floor. Restore a passive stretch before coming out, noticing if it's easier to sit in this position. Once you can hold a horse stance squat easily, with your thighs roughly parallel to the floor, and you can get your knees to the ground actively in your butterfly, then we can move on to our intermediate exercises. For strength through range, we'll practice the Cossack squat. Start with a wide stance, feet angled slightly outward. Shift your weight to one side, bending that knee while keeping the opposite leg straight. Sink down into the hips while keeping the torso fairly upright. Some forward lean is okay. Aim to get your thigh parallel to the ground while keeping your heel planted, and try sinking deeper over time. Experiment with the straight leg. Keeping the foot flat stretches the inner thigh a bit more. Pointing the toes up stretches the hamstring a bit more. You can load your Cossack squat with free weights, like a barbell, dumbbells, or kettlebells, for a deeper stretch and more strength gains. And when you start to get really flexible, you can elevate one foot to get an epically deep stretch. For flexibility and mobility, let's use the Straddle Jefferson curl. Stand on an elevated surface, ideally with space in the middle. 2 chairs or boxes will do. Begin flexing the spine slowly. First, chin to chest, then rounding the shoulders, squeezing the glutes and abs to round the lower back, and then fold completely, pointing the tailbone to the sky and looking for a straight-ish spine. Coming out, tuck the tailbone, squeeze the glutes and abs again, slowly rise up. Lift the chest, pull the shoulders back, and gaze up at the top. Repeat for a few reps, then hold a passive stretch to finish the set. Start without weight, then add load by holding a dumbbell or kettlebell in hand. Let's superset that with an end range strengthener, seated leg raises, in both the pike and straddle positions. Starting in a seated pike position on the floor, walk the fingertips forward. Try your best to keep the spine straight and fold from the hips. Find your max stretch, then back out about 10 degrees. Using your core, lift your legs off the ground. Pause briefly at the top and lower back down. Keep the knees fully locked out by squeezing the quads as well. Repeat for reps. You can do this exercise 2 legs at a time or 1 leg at a time. The same exercise can also be done with the legs in a partial straddle, again, with both legs or with 1 leg at a time. And it can be done in a full straddle with both legs or with 1 leg at a time. You can also try hovering over a block, which is a bit more challenging. These variations can be done at any degree between pike and straddle, or you can do all of them together. Practice the positions which feel like your weak points. And finally, you can try creating circles called end range rotations, which is even more challenging. Once you can get your hamstring to your calf in your Cossack squat, your spine looks mostly straight at the bottom of your Jefferson curl, and you can lock out those legs easily with your fingers between the knees and the ankles during seated leg raises. You're ready for our experienced pancake exercises. Let's continue enhancing our strength with the seated good morning. Start sitting on a bench with a 75 to 90 degree bend in the knees. Keeping the spine straight, fold forward from the hips, aiming to get the torso parallel to the thighs. A slight rounding in the lower back is okay at the beginning. Aim to make it straighter over time. Add load with a free weight, a cable machine, or a resistance band to assist the stretch and increase your strength. Progress by incrementally lowering the height of the object you're sitting on and straightening the legs, getting closer and closer to that pancake position. At this point, we're going to shift our focus more towards mobility and flexibility, so the weight won't matter as much. Once you can do this exercise on the floor, we call this the kinetic pancake stretch. Sitting in a straddle position, squeeze the quads and outer hips to open space as you fold forward, trying to keep the spine straight. Squeeze the inner thigh as you push back to sitting upright. If some assistance is still needed, you can sit on a block and use a free weight, resistance band, or cable machine to help pull you into the stretch. Slowly reduce the thickness of the band or the weight used until you can do it unassisted. Once you can perform this unassisted, you can challenge yourself with the block push technique. With each repetition, aim to push the block a little bit further. If you're using this exercise with the goal of achieving the full pancake, finish your set with a passive stretch. We're then going to superset it with pancake pails and rails for the best stretch yet. Find your deepest pancake and hold for a passive stretch. After some time, resist the stretch by contracting the hamstrings and adductors, or inner thigh. Think about pushing the legs down and inward together. Then, go with the stretch by contracting the quads and glutes. Think about lifting the legs off the floor and pulling them apart even wider. Finally, relax in a passive stretch, noticing if you are now deeper in the pancake position. Take these exercises step by step. Start where you're at based on our prerequisites for each phase and take small steps forward every time you train. If you're curious about reps, durations, sets, we've included everything you need to get your pancake in our compound mobility program, which has just been released on the brand new EVCO 2.0. Yeah, there is a brand new EVCO experience where you can now track all of your reps and sets, follow along with our programs, and browse the movement library. Plus, save your favorites for your next workout. Now we've got a huge announcement. We just released the latest library experience completely free. That means hundreds of tutorials, flows, and classes are now available immediately after you sign up. So, what are you waiting for? Check out the brand new EVCO 2.0 and start training your Pancake with compound mobility, released on our new platform. Thanks for watching, Tribe. I'll see you in the next video.